Hey there guys, welcome back to Planet Tyro for Celebrate International Animation Day month here. We're going to be talking about a very special company, but before that I want to get into some house cleaning. Every year on Planet Tyro I want to celebrate the medium that is animation the best way I can, and I always want to speak about some unsung heroes. I was actually thinking about talking about Ralph Bakshi. I know I'm pronouncing that wrong, but we're gonna go through all of his movies. Maybe we'll do that next year because he's someone I definitely respect, someone who definitely did something different in the animation game. But this year, I think I want to speak about a company that's going through some hard times, surprisingly and utterly disappointingly, especially after watching their most recent release. I'm talking about LAIKA Studios, guys. It's an American stop motion animation company. And this month, this October 2016, I want to talk about their 4 big budget movies that they released over the years. And actually, I'm going to go backwards. I'm actually going to start with their most recent one, which is obviously Kubo. And then I'm going to go back to Coraline, which I think was their first one. In between, I know they've done contract work for Corse Bride and some other stuff, but I want to focus on the work they did 100%. That's got their name on it. That's all them. And as a company, if you guys don't know this, basically they've been losing money. Their money, basically the budget on their movies is quite expensive considering the stop motion, and they've been making less money on each movie. And arguably you could say each movie they made was better than the last, except for Box Trolls, which I will be watching again on the next video. But Coraline and Paranorman and this movie, these 3 are meant to be just so well done overall. And to see this company that do stop motion, which is one of the hardest types of animation you can do, the most tedious, and the money they're making, the money that Kubo made, the money that this movie made, I'll put it on the screen. I think they made like 47 tops when something like The Secret Life of Pex, which is another kids friendly movie, which is kind of a clone of Toy Story. It's really disheartening. And again, guys, I'm always pushing for supporting the underdog, the unsung heroes, and the people who are doing something different in the medium of animation. And LAIKA Studios, to see them going down like this and to see them not getting the support for the great storytelling they truly deserve is extremely disheartening. It's very disappointing, and it really does, So anyway, like I said, I want to go backwards and talk about their movies in, back to forward with their most recent release, and we're going to go back. So I want to talk about Kubo and the Two Strings. Kubo and the Two Strings is a story, no spoilers, is a story of a young boy and his mother. And basically when the movie starts, you can see that him and his mother have run away from some very traumatic event. He's kind of looking after his mother because she's kind of out of it for reasons I don't want to get into. And then basically the story turns into an adventure about him finding out about himself and his family, and finding out that his life or his legacy isn't what it's meant to be. And he meets a monkey and a beetle, and he has to collect these items. It's very adventurous. It even reminds me a bit of The Legend of Zelda to a certain extent. But before I get into more details without spoilers again on the movie and the plot, what do I think of it? When the movie was finished, I was blown away. This movie was getting a lot of hype from the critics, from the toffee-nosed critics. I know what a good movie is, and but from the moment I saw the trailer, I thought to myself, this looks different. This looks different from the other Western animated movies I'm seeing. It does look very Asian and very Oriental. It does look very kind of fantasy adventure, but there's something about it that drew me. And after I saw the movie, I was like, this movie was even better than I expected. First of all, the stop motion animation or cinematography was gorgeous. From the paper, the whole element of this little boy using paper to make paper mache objects, and he's basically telling a story within a story throughout this movie when he creates a ship and when he telling the story to the townspeople, and it's beautiful. The backgrounds are great, the character designs are great, And when you guys see behind the scenes, which I'm going to put a link in a YouTube card, the version of the video on LAIKA and this movie, and when you just see how much thought and care they put into this, but just watching it, if you don't know any of that, just watching it, I appreciated the gorgeousness of the stop motion animation. It looks so crisp and clean. The characters are so goddamn charming. And that was one thing I didn't expect. With a story of adventure and you got these animals that are kind of looking after this kid, I expected a very stoic and very guardian type, but these characters were absolutely fantastic. This Mama Bear Panda, whatever, Charlize Theron, the character is so great. The way it's so caring for the little boy, the way that she acts with her mannerisms, and even the things she says, it's very mature. She's not even boring. She's got her own sense of comedy. I really felt like, the script, the character dialogue is very witty, very understated, and not corny. This is one thing about children's movies. I find them very corny and very obvious with their kiddie jokes. No, this movie, the one thing that I loved about this movie, the characters were very kind of mature. The jokes were there for adults and children alike, but they weren't too over the top, or they weren't too adult, and they weren't too kiddie. And I felt like this movie's perfect. It hit that perfect medium of entertaining the adults and the children. Now, the story overall, it was layered a little bit. Like, I was expecting a very straightforward story, but there was layers to it. Even the bad guys, they had the actual backstory with the ultimate villain. The ultimate villain at the very end was a little bit murky, but everyone else was great. The Guardians for Kubo was great. The two witchy sisters, what they were saying was good. And when you get to the background story of why Kubo's being chased and what's going on, it is kind of straightforward. You kind of seen it before, but the way it's laid out was in a very meaty and in an adventurous way that never bored me. And I was like, hey, I've kind of seen this story before, but the way they meld the animation with the characters and the whole essence and just the tone of it all works. And basically what I'm saying, and this always reminds me of Studio Ghibli, you can do a very basic story, but the way you execute it is what will separate you from the rest. And that's what Kubo does. And Kubo, the LAIKA guys, with this movie in particular, it really does remind me of a Studio Ghibli traditional Asian story with the little elements, little twists here and there, the little elements of uniqueness with the animation and the plot points and the attention to detail and the homage to Asian culture. It all comes together, man. And honestly, I couldn't believe how much I enjoyed the movie. I don't think I've enjoyed an animated movie like this since Zootopia. Zootopia, again, is another movie that went the extra mile to meet the adult audience and the children audience at the same time, but still knew how to keep me entertaining, still had a message. And the message to this movie was love, family, and forgiveness. Forgiveness was the part that surprised me, but the way they pulled it off in the ending was very sweet. And even though at the end, I'm going to be very picky, and even though at the end it was getting a little too bittersweet, and even though the townspeople did something at the end, I was like, really? You're going to forgive this? But it made sense, and the message it ultimately sent out was clear, and I just thought, fantastic. If I had to give this movie a rating, it's a first-class movie. The storytelling, the whole package was phenomenal. And the only thing I was upset about is that it was delayed for like a month in the UK. I'm so glad I saw it in the theatre, because on the big screen it was absolutely perfect. All the praise this movie has gotten is justified, and it really disturbs me that this movie has done the least in all of the LAIKA movies. And compared to some of the other garbage animated movies I've seen, Angry Birds, Secret Life of Pets, they're not garbage, but compared to this, I can only speak for myself, but there's no comparison. It just infuriates me that it's not even that the movie made that much money, it's that this might stop the company from producing movies, because no matter how much effort they put into it, each of their movies make less money, and it's just another case of quality not being noticed. And this might mean the studio is going away because they can't make the money to do what they love and bring the people quality storytelling in a medium that is so underused that it's really heartbreaking to see that. I just feel deflated, you know. I know I'm getting all emotional and all softy, but when you watch the movie and you see the originality and the simplicity, and then you think they didn't make enough and could go away forever, and you'll never see this again. You'll just see more Pixar clones. It's very disheartening. So, yeah, it's a first class movie. Like I said, I'm only sad I only got to see this movie now. You know, this is the kind of movie I would buy. I don't even buy DVDs. I'm gonna have to buy this movie to support the company on principle. You know, if I had money, I would back these guys to produce more quality studios, because they're making timeless art, in my opinion. And I'm getting very highbrow now, but they're making timeless animated movies, stop motion movies that are going to stand apart from the rest of the animation game. Originality, creativity, it's all there in spades. So anyway, again, late to the party on this one, but we're going to celebrate LAIKA Studios for the whole month. And this was their most recent movie, and it's going to be interesting me going back in time to see, you know, I know the next movie was about Box Trolls, is their most decisive and unimpressive movie, but still with fresh eyes, I want to see what I think about the movie now and going back to the other two movies. But guys, you know, let me know what you think of Kubo. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. If you're in Europe and you saw this movie later, like us, you know, let us know what you think, because this movie really, to me, isn't getting the awareness or appreciation it deserves. I hope it wins an Oscar. I hope it gets more accolades, because it really deserves it. And I really hope this company does not go away, because this, I think, is their best movie to date. And the fact that they might not be able to do anything because they're not getting the money or the appreciation they deserve, I'm just repeating myself at this point, is heartbreaking. So anyway, guys, I know that was a bit of a negative, sad note, but that's my feelings on it. Again, let me know what you think. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. And for the rest of the month, I'm not going to be just speaking about LAIKA. I've got a few other animated, hipstery, old and retro titles and unspoken of things I'm going to do here and there. That's what we're doing. We're going to celebrate the unsung heroes every year of the October on Planet Tyro for celebrating International Animation Day month. But guys, again, hit the annotation on the right there if you want to see all the other stuff we do, books, movies, TV shows. Again, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again right here to celebrate International Animation Day month here on Planet Tyro. I'll see you on the next one, guys. Take care. Peace out.